Let's call this meeting to order at 7:07 p.m. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, has everyone had a chance to read and review the minutes from our last meeting on the 13th of May?
Yes.
Yes. Any edits? And if not, could I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the Nahant School Committee meeting minutes of May 13th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moving on to the acknowledgement of visitors, I know we have quite a few people. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Rob, do you want to read them all out loud?
No one present in the room, however, on Zoom, we have the following individuals. Britt Rossinian, Cheryl Delicio, Heidi Fiore, Holly Yeager, iPhone 237, Kayla Harrington, Lydia Smith, Robert Howard, Riley Edmonds, and Terry Clark.
Well, welcome and thank you, everybody, for joining us. So I'm going to move it to correspondence and community input. So if there's anyone that would like to speak that's out in Zoom land, if you could just raise your hand or feel free to speak. And has anyone here received any community correspondence?
Is that a handout? It was just a question about the recording. Recording should be back on for that question. And did anyone have public input? You could raise your hand and I can, I believe, unmute you. Like we're good.
Ready? Well, if no one wants to comment, we can move straight into the examination and authorization for payment of bills.
All right, the bills are in front of you and it's Tony Parentali used to say this was the big one because it includes $574,388.33 for the town of Swampscott for tuition. And there are Healy bus bills, 2 bills for that, sped expenses, plumbing, Terminator, the greenhouse cost for the kit is on here, but remember that was all through donations. We have an amount to Reese DeRozier, who helped us out with music and did the Memorial Day parade and did 3 or 4 music Fridays with the kids, and well worth the expense on that. And it helps Reese with moving forward with her desire to become a secondary music education teacher. So I think it was a wonderful experience. And the last item is for psychological contracting services for testing. Total of the bill roll would be $675, $658, $69.
Excellent. Could I have a motion to approve the bill roll?
Motion to approve the expenditure of $675,658.69 to cover the bill roll presented at the May 27th, 2025 school committee meeting.
Second. Second. All in favor? So moving on to the superintendent's report.
I have quite a few items, I guess, here at the end of the year. First of all, the Memorial Day Parade, I think, was a great success. Reese, who I just mentioned, was there. Kayla Harrington and Tessa Deering, our 5th and 6th grade teachers, were there as chaperones, and our fourth, fifth, and sixth graders represented the Johnson School extremely well at the Memorial Day Parade. I sent out a few pictures, a short video, and it was just really heartwarming to see that. You don't see that in a lot of towns, and so I think that was wonderful. No particular order. Tomorrow, the minibus goes on its fourth trip of the year. Goes to Bodeborg, of the future promoted sixth grade students from the Johnson School to whatever you do at Bodeborg. There's a magic room. There's 3 different levels. They go through an obstacle course, and I get to chauffeur them over there tomorrow. So that'll be really, really fun. The Ed Foundation had a workshop planned for the school for Earth Day, and that had been canceled, the Earth Day festivities itself, but the person who was going to present the kite workshop, who was funded through the Non-Educational Foundation, had not gotten notified, and it said last week, I'll be here tomorrow. That's not going to work very well. We're not planning for that. And he graciously came today for our fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. Perfect day for that. They learned about kites, built kites, and flew kites down on the Flash Road area playground, and it was really impressive. I've got some photos and video of that. One of the big highlights today, and the third trip of the Blue Lobster mini van, was to go over with Roxanne Sheena from the food service department and pick up the Swampscott 12th grade graduates and take them here to Johnson School with the bus, where they got to tour the schools, where all the confetti is and the signs on the walls, and to see their teachers that they may have had, see new teachers, and really exciting to see that. Portfolio and Scoops Night is scheduled for Thursday, June 5th from 5 to 7. Field Day is June 10th, and promotion is on June 11th at 6 o'clock. And the last day is a half day on June 16th. And I believe that is all the items from Superintendent's report.
Wow, it's hard to believe.
That's exciting.
the End of the year is here. It's like, where did it go?
Watch the younger kids see those graduates walk down, and they may have been their babysitters or whatever. And there was one particular kid I work with quite a lot in the field I'm in school filling in. And one of those seniors had his hand right around that young man. The look on that kid's face looking up was just worth all the price of admission, so to speak. And that was just a beautiful thing to see. So I would say that is the superintendent's report.
Personnel updates.
There are several personnel updates. The first is kind of a sad one. Maddie Federo, who's been a first-year teacher here for a number of years and one of the co-heads of the Teachers Association, is moving with her family to Newport, Rhode Island, for job purposes that her husband has obtained. And she was here today to announce that, and she brought the most beautiful young boy with her, Teddy, who was born early in the year, that you folks supported with a maternity leave, and blue eyes and look on that kid's face was just priceless. We're going to really, really miss Maddie.
Yes.
She was part of the whole heart and soul of this school and the staff, and we wish her the absolute best of luck. The second personnel notice is that Nancy Caggiano applied for and was granted by the superintendent a 1-year leave of absence, and she is going to travel and pursue some of the places around this world that she's always wanted to go to, and that's really a fantastic thing. And then, as I announced today, our principal, Kevin Andrews, at the end of the year will be leaving to pursue other educational opportunities after 9 years here. Kevin did a lot for this school and its programs and the students here, and we wish Kevin the very, very best of luck in his next educational endeavors. The positions will be advertised starting tomorrow. We have the following positions that will be advertised. There'll be a actual grade 2 position, because without Maddie in grade 1, the larger group moves to grade 2. So we'll be advertising that grade. We'll be advertising our .4 math and English language arts specialist that we got funded in the budget. We'll be advertising for our .4 phys ed teacher. Remember earlier in the spring, our phys ed teacher had to return to some other work that she had going. We had a wonderful long-term substitute, Jamie Garber, but she is actually going to work at Disney World all next year. So, and she'd be looking for a full-time job. So we'll be looking for a phys ed teacher. The principal's position will also be posted tomorrow, and we're in the process of putting together a search committee, hoping that you can give me 2 school committee names for that committee. There'll be 2 teachers, 2 support staff, 2 parents, and we'll put out a call for those interested in that. Adjustment counselor will be on that, and the timeline is fairly crisp. We advertise tomorrow. The position closes in 10 days on June 6th. Search committee will meet on the 9th, and we'll start interviews on Tuesday the 17th, continue the 18th, and hope to have the next principal of the Johnson School that week. And I would then announce that. So again, we wish everyone the best of luck and good times in all the endeavors.
Wow, lots of changes. Any updates regarding the OT?
Onward.
On the OT?
The OT, there is a OT in place for this summer services. And Mary is in negotiations with a potential occupational therapist to finish out the amount of caseload throughout the number of days that are left. If not, compensatory services will be offered as required by law with who we get on board. So I don't think we have somebody signed right up at this point. It's a tough position to fill, even if you try to contract it out, any kind of contracted services. So that's where we are with that.
I appreciate that. Okay, well. I'm wondering, and I'm gonna leave it up to the 2 of you. Do you want to table the rework of the school committee, or do you want to?
We just need to clean up the last little bit of it. The future agenda items, which would be the next meetings, would be an authorization for the summer months in terms of bills that need to be paid and that sort of thing. It's sort of a standard list that will come out. You would authorize us to accept any and all grant funding from the state and the federal government. You also have to vote to participate in the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program. And then you approve your standard list of school committee topics. We would also have and it's on the agenda for tonight, but Chris isn't quite ready with the list. You would need to do a transfer of funds from different lines within the budget to put anything that's overdrawn in the positive or zeroed out, and to be able to get that budget, so we then can determine how much the town might have to provide based on what we talked about during budget season because of the overage in special education. And we won't have a need for an executive session at the end. So beyond that, we just have.
We do.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Okay. All right. Then we do have an executive
We
session.
do need for an executive session at the
I
end.
stand or sit corrected.
Participating in K through 12 and all that. Did we handle all those votes? We did that.
This is a copy of the timeline. Folks want it for the search for the president. How do you get this one that for share with this ago?
Yes, sir. I'll join the search committee for a principal. I will too.
So going back to my original question regarding the reorg of the school
That's
committee.
what we're down to, right?
That's what we're down to. It is three of us. Shall we table this or? shall
I'm
we leave it?
not gonna be at the next meeting,
Ah, so then perhaps we should
but
just go
it's-
for it.
doesn't matter. Whatever you feel.
Whatever you feel comfortable with is fine with me as well.
Well,
Do you anticipate having more people next meeting? I mean, does that make a difference?
it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say, especially where it's June. So I don't think it's really gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
So, because we're really voting on who's gonna be secretary, chair, and vice chair.
Anyone who isn't here.
We can, in theory, we can most certainly do it. I feel like that's why we're it's accurate, you know. Not
Just thought.
Did Beth ever get back to you?
She hasn't. I know over the weekend that she was in Truro, and I don't know if she's coming back. It's unlike her. But I haven't had a chance to check my email.
Yeah.
So we can move forward. With the order we can do. So I know you both are new, but the way that this works is usually someone makes a motion.
I moved to nominate Patty Carroll as chair of the Nahant School Committee for another fabulous year.
Yes, and I second that.
Thank you. I accept. You know, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So now we need a vice chair. So the vice chair was Beth.
I moved to nominate Beth Anderson Beth Anderson as vice chair for another term.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I hope she doesn't mind.
She's gonna be the vice chair. And then is anyone really good at taking notes? Would anyone like to? I know Rob's done a fabulous job with being our
I
note
don't
taker.
mind continuing. It's not difficult. Happy to appoint a secretary.
Unless someone would like to.
Someone else, I remember how to take notes. So I would volunteer.
All right, motion to nominate Meredith Thibault as secretary of the Nahant School Committee.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right. Well, thank you, everyone. That was painless. Okay. So I think we can move into an executive session, not to reconvene to open session.
Motion to adjourn at 7:26 to executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A1, to discuss a personnel matter and not to return to open session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening.
Here, I'll take care.